I want to talk about turning 40. Yes, this summer, July 21st, I turn 40. And age is a funny thing, because I remember when I was 19 or 20, and I had this discussion yesterday with a person who is 18, turning 19, of how I viewed people who were 25. And I was like, wow, they're old. And when I was 26 and I started my bachelor program, there was a person who was like 32, and I was like, that is so old. That's what I felt back then. And now, looking at myself, turning 40, and trying to get a sense of what that means. I mean, I know what it kind of means historically, where you were supposed to be and what your life was supposed to be and how you were supposed to be as a person when you were 40. But, times have changed. Or it's just the fact that I am one of those creative souls who just doesn't care. I mean, I sat on a beach on Skiathos, Greece, 10 years ago, on that night when I went from 29 to 30, listening to Nina Simone's fantastic rendition of Mr. Bojangles on repeat. And I contemplated my life. I can't remember if I had like a plan for the next 10 years, what my 30s were going to be all about. I don't think I've ever had that, because I'm a classic humanities person who doesn't have a plan, but always try to do good shit, because then good shit happens. And looking back at these past 10 years, that's sort of, where life has taken me. 10 years ago, I was in the middle of my master's program, which I had just kind of been invited to after doing quite well, I would say, in my bachelor's program. And from there on, I started my own company. YouTube became a bigger part of my life. I went to gatherings in different places of the world. I got to know amazing people that I'm still friends with. And the community started up in Sweden. And then I did some teaching at my old college. And then eventually 3 years ago, right around from now, I started working where I work right now. And I never saw myself as a white-collar office worker. I never saw myself as that. And even though I sort of am right now, I can sort of blame it on me being in a very creative business. I get to work with people who are creative. I get to make use of the creativity within me to influence other people, and they in turn influence me. I mean, I'm still doing this after so many years, and that is the main reason for that is that I've always done what I wanted to do, what inspired me. So, and I often listen to Meatloaf's song, what's it called? Lost Boys and Golden Girls, from the Bad Out of Hell 2 album. And there's a line in that song that says, "We'll never be as young as we are right now." And the thing is, even though I could have had those feelings right now, like, oh, I wish I was 34 again, or I wish I was 29 again, I'm gonna have the exact same feelings 10, 15 years from now. Oh, remember back when I was 39 turning 40, I was so young, I had the whole world in front of me. But and I mean, for me, the thing is, I don't feel very different now from when I was 30 in almost any way. I mean, it's not like I'm feeling the age crawling onto me. No, not at all. Then again, when I look at a soccer game and I realize that pretty much everyone on that field is younger than me, then I realize that I've probably missed that boat toward professional soccer playership. Might have missed that boat. But then again, as Elton John put it, there's more to see that can never be seen, more to do that can never be done. And instead of worrying and feeling anxiety of all the things I didn't get to do and all the things I missed out, screw it. I mean, look at my life. When I look at my annual like summary videos to 2018 and especially 2017, I realized that wow, I have a pretty cool life. I get to travel. I get to make use of my knowledge with other people. I have a wonderful wife. I have a cat that loves me when it's hungry, and I am healthy in that sense. I exercise regularly. So, and I'm on level 40 on Pokemon Go. So what more could you ask? What more could you ask of that? So maybe it's more of it needs to be a bang that night when I turn 40. We still haven't figured out exactly what we're gonna do or how I want it to happen, because I have these like, what if no one shows up? One of those inner like, ugh, what if nobody loves me? I know. But I'm excited for the coming period in my life. I have great plans for this year. I'm going to Poland in a couple of weeks to meet other people who love languages in the Nordics. Sweden Rock is right around the corner. We have a great trip planned right after my birthday. So good things are happening, and I think that the fear I have of turning 40 is not coming from the 39-year-old me. It's coming from a much younger version of me who looked at that number and felt that, yep, life will be over once we reach that part. And I say, badoo, no. There is still a chance that I will be living on a mountainside in a small cabin in Vietnam when I'm 70. Who knows? I don't know. It's a comforting thought to know that so much is still ahead as long as I can stay healthy. And that's the key. So, what are your thoughts? If you want to, tell me how old you are and tell me how you think about the number 40, of turning 40. Or if you're older, what was it like, turning 40? What was in your head? What was in your mind taking that leap onto another decade of life? I told a young person a few years ago who was he was annoyed and he was stressed, and he was almost angry at the fact that he was going to get older. And I told him, you should be so lucky. Make use of every single day you have, because you never know. You never know. Good talk.